Welcome to Nguyên News Today Headlines. Samsung affirms efforts to continue developing in Taiwan. Songkong builds new rural areas. Samsung will make great efforts to continue developing in Taiwan. That was the affirmation of Mr. Choi Joo-ho, General Director of Samsung Vietnam Complex, during a meeting with leaders of Taiwan province on the afternoon of March the 17th. Ms. Nguyễn Thanh, Secretary of Provincial Party Committee, Mr. Trịnh Nguyên Hùng, Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Mr. Phạm Hoàng Sơn, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, leaders of the Provincial People's Committee, and leaders of a number of departments, branches, and localities of the province welcome and work with Samsung's delegation. At the meeting, Mr. Choi Joo-ho, General Director of Samsung Vietnam Complex, affirmed that during nearly 10 years of operation in the province, Samsung has always received the attention and facilitated companionship of all level sector and people in Taiwan province. Leaders of the units of Samsung Group in Taiwan province committed to maintain stable production or higher growth compared to 2022 and continue to research and invest in production of test transistor grid products which will be tested in May 2023 and officially went into production from November 2023. In 2023, Samsung in Taiwan set a growth target of 5%. Mr. Choi Joo-ho also affirmed that the recent information about Samsung moving smartphone production line from Vietnam to India is not true. The products manufactured in India mainly serve the domestic market and a small part is exported to African countries, while in Vietnam it is exported to 128 countries around the world. Thus, the output of Samsung factory in Vietnam is not affected by output in India. At the meeting, the two sides also discussed the issue of the global minimum tax. In order to avoid affecting the competitiveness of Samsung Vietnam, Samsung Group wants the Vietnamese government to quickly consider and resolve the issue on this subject. At the meeting, leaders of Taiwan province pledged to always support and accompany to propose proposals to the National Assembly of the Government of Vietnam in considering building an adaptation mechanism to the global minimum tax to soon remove difficulties of Samsung in Taiwan province in particular and Vietnam in general, thereby continuing to maintain and strengthen the door of Samsung Group's global production base in Vietnam, continuing to make great contribution to the economic development of Taiwan province as well as the whole country. On the evening of March the 17th, Võ Nhai District opened a festival with many activities imbued with the local culture and ethnic identity. Mr. Phạm Hoàng Sơn, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, member of the Standing Committee of the Provincial Party Committee, leaders of the Provincial People's Council, and leaders of the National Assembly's Ethnic Council attended the ceremony. As the Highland District of the province with 8 ethnic groups living together, Võ Nhai is proud to be the original land of the mankind, the creator of Vietnamese Revolution. The colors of ethnic groups with the revolution tradition has created a unique culture of Võ Nhai. Therefore, for the local people, the festival is also an opportunity to remember and remind the history of the homeland. The festival is the joy and pride of the people of our district. It has us to remember the historic days when Võ Nhai people rose up under the leadership of the party. Through this festival, we also want to create conditions for the district's tourism to be developed. The festival this year, with many new points and activities of the great significance, aims to introduce and promote cultural and historical identities and relics, the scenic spots and potentials of the land and Võ Nhai people to all parts of the country. The highlight of the content of this year's festival is experiencing 3D digital display about the cultural characteristics of ethnic groups in Võ Nhai District. The festival aims to help people see the cultural identity of ethnic groups in Võ Nhai District to educate the revolutionary tradition as well as national pride. At the ceremony, the Standing Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee and leaders of Võ Nhai District presented many meaningful gifts to Vietnamese heroic mothers, pre-insurrection officers. The festival has cultural exchange activities of ethnic minorities in the area and competition in sport and for games, organized cultural camps, food markets of 15 communes and towns in the district. Within the framework of the 41st National Television Festival in 2023, on March the 18th, the delegation of Taiwan Radio and Television Station work and exchange experience at Hải Phòng radio and television station in the fields of radio and television, digital transformation. At the meeting, the delegates spent a lot of time sharing and exchanging contacts directed to improve the quality of television, radio, electronic media, adapting in the work of digital transformation, especially the issue of press economy, financial autonomy for local media agencies. At the same time, Thái Nguyên radio and television station introduced some potentials and strengths as well in the socio-economic situation in Thái Nguyên. The representative of Hải Phòng radio and television station also focused on introducing more about the roadmap to build and develop into a multimedia press agency. The additional investment in specialized equipment, the application of information technology achievements in production innovation, broadcasting, and reaching audience needs. But to the sharing of the meeting, the two stations hope that in the near future there will be more exchanges and cooperation to develop together, especially in continuing to innovate the way the content of the programs, improve the quality of the program and information, public opinion orientation to meet the needs of the current period. New rural construction has only a starting point without an end point, which is a right and timely policy. Therefore, despite reaching the finish line in the new rural construction, Sông Công City is continuing to mobilize the power of the political system and the people to maintain improved criteria for the new rural construction, thereby promoting the local socio-economic development in a rapid and sustainable way. In order to address the new event rural criteria, the authority of Bà Xuyên Commune Sông Công City, together with specialized agencies, actively reviewed the planning to accelerate the expansion of truck routes in accordance with the criteria, avoiding the situation of overlap causing losses and waste when implementing urbanization and becoming cost later. Currently, rural roads that are built according to the new countryside standard is 5 meters. The hamlet had a meeting to discuss and focus on implementing. In 2021, the hamlet can make 400 meters. In 2023, we will complete the remaining 5 meters. The places belonging to the planning are not allowed to be done. The commune has also been implementing a lot of solutions to complete the newly enhanced rural criteria. To date, there are also 3 more criteria that we still have not met. Criterion number 2 is the traffic criterion. Many intercommune and intervillage roads have been completed. The rest of the inner field roads are facing difficulties. In this criterion, we are still kilometers short. In 2023, we will be determined to complete. Along with the construction of infrastructure, the criteria of production organization, the criteria of clean water are still difficult criteria. However, many solutions have been deployed synchronously to quickly solve the problems, without expecting or relying on support or policy mechanisms from abroad. In 2023, we strive to have eco products, which are the 8 fragrant just mind right products, which are being deployed to repair documents detail. The new rural office advised the City Party Committee, the People's Council and the People's Committee to promulgate a number of mechanisms and policies to continue to support the communes to raise the criteria from new rural areas to advanced new rural areas and modern new rural areas. Specifically, support for concrete roads, canal facilities. According to 19 criteria, up to now, communes has basically organized and implemented effectively. Basically, Bà Xuyên Commune has had innovation in mobilizing people to donate land to build roads according to new criteria and develop production models. We consider a locality that has many creative ways of doing things. In 2023, Sông Công City aims to have 5 hamlets, achieve modern new rural villages. 8 communes try to achieve from 1 to 2 criteria or more for newly improved rural communes. Continue to maintain and improve quality of the number of criteria in the communes have met the new rural standards. However, in order to successfully build an enhanced new rural commune and a modern new rural commune, it is necessary to implement the criteria synchronously, because the criteria are complementary to each other. If one criterion is not performed well, it affects and inhibits other criteria. Therefore, local authorities need to actively integrate resources, avoid relying on the state support, especially promoting the role of people in building new countryside. That's all we have for today. Thank you for joining. Goodbye and see you next time.